What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we have two rumors to talk about today. We have a Lions rumor and we have a Bears rumor. So let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome, everybody, to another video. Glad you guys are here. As you guys can see, I'm rolling all around today. I'm excited. I'm excited. You know what? I'm excited. I'm excited to do this video, but I'm also excited for tonight for the fantasy draft of DoseOfDion Gaming. What? Yeah, that's right. Fantasy draft of DoseOfDion Gaming. It is already filled up, I think, but you guys can definitely check it out. Come watch, and we'll have some fun over there. Don't know what else to say now, but yeah, you guys do that. Okay, so let's just dive right into this. Let me just address this rumor very quickly. So there's this rumor going around right now, and I didn't know what this was till I saw it in the comment section of my last video, where a couple people were talking about Kenny Golladay, and I'm like, where's this coming from? So I tried to dig a little bit deeper, and I figured it out. It's on Twitter. So this is at least what I saw. If hopefully I'm seeing the same thing that you guys are seeing. I put out this post that said that according to Jeff Risden, Kenny Golladay declined $16 million a year from the Detroit Lions. All right, so that was the post. Now, we'll get to what that means in a second, but that's the post. I'm like, okay, I see. This is a rumor. Let's keep that in mind. Rumors are rumors. But apparently to Jeff here, this is a rumor that he got from a source that's been 100% apparently on his rumor. So, seems like it might be legit, right? Now, when you hear that rumor that Kenny Golladay declined $16 million a year, to me personally, I'm like, oh, dang, really? You declined $16 million a year? However, as I write a little bit deeper and you check out the comment section, you notice that this was not a deal. If this rumor is legit, let's pretend this rumor is legit. This is not a deal that the Lions offered this season. This is not a deal the Lions just offered. It's not with this regime. This was a deal that was offered, apparently, maybe it was a verbal offer, with Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. So assuming this rumor is legit, according to Jeff Risden, this is a offer that was out there when Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia were here, not when Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes were here. All right, so definitely a very big difference, because assuming this rumor is true, he didn't decline the Lions offer from Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. He declined it from Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. So this is something that I could have seen. Maybe they were discussing it last year. Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, they're not sure if they're going to be here or not. But, maybe they're discussing with Kenny Golladay last year. And they're like, hey, what if we did $16 million a year? And he declined it. And they're like, okay, I guess we'll go from there. But it never really turned into anything because his contract wasn't up. And obviously they were fired before the season even finished. So it couldn't turn into anything. But now that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are here, we hear these interesting talks like Kenny Golladay saying, wow, I love this energy. I have to try to match that energy. And he talks about, I died laughing watching it. And Dan Campbell's like, oh yeah, I want Kenny Golladay back. We'll have to figure out the contract side, but I want Kenny Golladay and Romeo Okwara back. So that, we're feeling good about it. But then you hear this rumor and you're like, hold up, did he just turn down $16 million a year? Which is a lot of money. Look, okay, the Lions are not the brokest team in the NFL, but they don't have the most money. Now, the good thing is it's projected that the salary cap this season will be set at $185 million, which is awesome, because that puts us kind of like on the border, broke, I guess you would say, because before, when it was projected $175 million, the Lions were $10 million over cap. Now, if it's at $185, you're maybe $1 million over cap to $1 million under cap. It's one of those two. So that's obviously better, but you still got to save some money. But $16 million a year, that's a lot of money. Maybe a little bit less than what Golladay might be able to get this offseason. I don't know what he'll get. I'm not sure how worried teams are about his injury and how much teams are willing to actually offer for Kenny Golladay, and whether or not he may take less to play with the Detroit Lions next season, which could be possible. Maybe he'll take a backloaded contract. I'm not sure. There's a lot that goes into it. But $16 million a year is a lot for a receiver. It's going to be one of the top paid receivers if he gets $16 million a season. But again, the important part of this rumor, at least the one that I saw, according to Jeff Risden, is that this was not something that was offered with Dan Campbell and with Brad Holmes. So it could have been a big factor that because Matt Patricia were there, Bob Quinn were there, he didn't want to play with them again. He didn't want to be back. But now that they're gone, maybe things are changed. Maybe not. Maybe he still has the same thought. Maybe he doesn't actually want to be brought back unless he gets, like $18 million a year. But I'm just saying this was something that was done before this era. At least that's what the rumor implies. And here is Risden said this was last summer. So that would be before last season started. All right, so maybe that's also before we know what's going on with the cap situation. And that also affects what other teams are going to be able to offer a guy like Kenny Golladay this offseason. Also, if it's this summer, it means that this also means that Kenny Golladay wasn't injured. So Kenny Golladay now missing 9 games, he might be a little bit worried, okay, how much can I actually get? Other teams around the league may be thinking, okay, hold up. How confident are we this guy's going to be the same coming back from that hip injury? Because it was a serious injury. He missed a lot of time. In the summer, he wasn't dealing with injury. He was coming off a great season. You were expecting another great season. Him and Matthew Stafford were on fire, and Stafford didn't play there for half the season. So you're thinking, okay, this is going to be great. So you offer him then. But there's a lot of new factors now, including new coaching staff, which he may be more willing to play with his new coaching staff, including the fact that he wasn't coming off of an injury, including there wasn't this COVID where we knew the cap was going to be so low. There's a lot of different factors for outside teams, for Golladay himself, and for the Detroit Lions organization when it comes to trying to make a contract happen here. A lot of different things. And I think the biggest one is that there is a new head coach and a new GM in the building, and if they want him, and Kenny Golladay wants to play for them, that changes everything. And if Kenny Golladay maybe is a little bit more worried about what he could potentially get as a free agent because he's coming off that injury, maybe his agent's like, hey, you know, if you get a good offer here, you might want to take it because I'm not 100% sure what you're going to get in the open market. Then maybe maybe he's like, okay, you know what, I'll stay with the line. Maybe I can take a little bit less. He might get less this year than $60 million. He might get more than that. There could be teams out there in free agency that say, man, we'll give you $18 million. And at that point, now we're in a situation where maybe he wants to be back, but at the same time, you only have so much money. You still have to figure out your money. I mean, how much money are the Lions really willing to throw to a receiver when they are trying to figure out their own cap situation after the Jared Goff trade? Because I don't think the Lions are going to restructure his contract. I don't think the Lions are completely know if he's going to be a future yet, so I don't think they're going to restructure his contract. So they're not going to have that much money because you still also have the draft players that you have to pay. There's some things that the Lions are going to have to do this season in terms of money-wise. So if he wants this much money and teams are willing to give him that, then it's either, okay, we either can try to tag him, which will be the top 5 receivers, and you take the average of that, or it's top 10, and then other teams can match, and you would have to try to match that. We can either try to tag him, which is still going to be $15 million a year. You got to try to get him back cheaper and see what he could take based on what he thinks is actually out there. But at the end of the day, what it really does come down to is how much money are the Lions willing to give to a receiver? How much money is Dan Campbell willing to give to a receiver? I don't know what he's willing to give because I don't know what he's looking for. I know he wants to run the ball. Does that mean he's willing to give this much to a receiver? Does Brad Holmes want to get a top receiver to go with Jared Goff as quarterback that he likes? I mean, does Anthony Lynn really think he needs a receiver like that? I don't know. They're all running guys. So there's a lot to it. But either way, regardless of anything, honestly, he's going to get paid some money. And I can't fault Kenny Golladay for saying, you know what, if there's a team out there that's willing to give him $18 to $20 million and the Lions just can't give him that, I can't fault Golladay for saying, I'm going to go take that deal. He's never gotten a big paycheck before. He's on his rookie deal. I don't fault the guy for going to get paid. If a team's willing to give you the money, go take the money, man. You know, I'd rather him take less to stay here. I want to keep Kenny Golladay in Detroit. But I also don't fault the guy if he's going to go get a big offer from a team and Lions just simply can't match it financially, that you would have to, okay, well, Golladay, go get your money, man. I hope the Lions can figure it out and bring him back. But, you know, that's just the salary cap thing. And, you know, that's some of the risks that you take on with the Jared Goff situation if you're not completely sold because you're not going to restructure his contract. So there's a lot that goes into it. But keep in mind, because if the Lions are able to, you know, gather up $16 million, they offer it to him again, that doesn't necessarily mean that he would decline it again because, again, that was the situation with the past regime. Talk about the Bears rumors, because, man, I cannot stop. I mean, I literally cannot stop laughing. The Bears fans are killing me on Twitter, bro. It is like the funniest thing to see these reactions. They don't want this to happen. So apparently, the rumor is out there that Carson Wentz is going to be traded in the next, you know, in the next week. Now, the big question they don't know is to where, when, and for how much. Another, you know, report that we get is that the Eagles are looking for 2 first-round picks for Carson Wentz. So if it's going to happen, right, we kind of know it's about to happen, who would give up 2 first-round picks for Wentz?
Already know who it is.
I don't think he'll go for that much, but he could. Bears could maybe be looking at this like maybe our Goff situation. I mean, okay, yeah, they're giving away picks and not receiving them like we did, but they could be looking at it saying, all right, he had 3 good years, and then 2020 was really bad. But maybe he gets a fresh start. He's disgruntled is what the word is from Philadelphia. And apparently Carson Wentz requested that trade. I mean, I could see that he would do that, right? Jalen Hurts is the number 1 quarterback right now, it seems. I mean, we kind of all know it. So I think how much they might have to give up. I mean, give up 2 first-round picks for a guy that's not even the starter is kind of interesting, especially if he requested the trade. This would become 2 first-round picks as if teams are bidding for him, or if a team thinks another team is bidding for him. Like maybe if they think the Colts are going to go after him, they might just offer even more. Even if they don't know the Colts are actually going after him. Or maybe the Colts are doing the exact opposite. Maybe the Colts are bidding more. But that could be the reason that this becomes a 2 first-round picks. Because the guy that requested a trade is a backup. We know he's not even a starter. He's disgruntled. You didn't think you'd get that much return. But if 2 teams are fighting over it because they're like, hey, man, Stafford's gone. We got to get a quarterback. Watson's not available. We got to find somebody. And these are teams that are sitting there and thinking, we can't draft a quarterback where we are. Now you're looking at it like, okay, hey, these teams are going at it. This is going to be fun to watch. And for us, that's probably better because more picks they give up. If they're going to get them, more picks to give up, the better. Not many Bears fans are happy. They're saying, oh my gosh, please don't do this. And it's weird because Indianapolis is like, oh yeah, we'll take him. We need a quarterback. But then you got the Bears fans like, no. I think part of that's because they have Nick Foles. And that'd be weird to have Nick Foles and Carson Wentz at quarterback. They weren't super happy how the Nick Foles thing went. Carson Wentz just signed a big 4-year, $128 million deal. So, you're taking on a big contract, which is something they didn't have with Trubisky. However, they would have to have it now. Some fans are saying, hey, you know what? Just get Trubisky back and sign him for cheaper, and then we can just focus on our needs here. Because the Bears are a playoff team with bad quarterback play. I mean, to be fair, I'm not a great playoff team, but they did make the playoffs, and they don't have really a quarterback. So I could see why the Carson Wentz, I mean, he's not that bad, is he? All right, comment down below what y'all feel. I don't watch Carson Wentz film, but I mean, just his numbers, he had a really bad last season. 16 touchdowns to 15 picks. He was the second most inaccurate quarterback when throwing past the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was a bad year. 57 completion percentage, 72.8 pass rating. He was 3-8-1 in the 12 games he played. Oh, that's not good at all. But just before that, I mean, the last 3 years were pretty solid. In 2017, he was an MVP candidate. So what the heck happened? Now, we know they fired Doug Peterson. It was like, oh, maybe it was Peterson. It was Wentz over Peterson. Well, now it looks like it's Hurts, and Wentz is gone too. This tweet right here that said, trading 2 first-round picks for Carson Wentz is like trading up to select Mr. Trubisky over Deshaun Watson. All right, now that's a low blow. Okay, that's messed up. But I will be fair to the Bears in this aspect where, okay, look, you keep telling me Deshaun Watson's available. Is he literally available, though? I mean, look, okay, maybe someone says, yeah, I'll give you 4 first-round picks, but who's really going to give up 4 first-round picks? I mean, look, the Texans want to keep him, and I've listened to people talk about it, and it's kind of like, well, the Texans, they don't have to trade him. They don't have to trade him, and they may not trade him. I really don't think Deshaun's going anywhere. I think Deshaun's there, so kind of available. People say he's available, but he's not really available. I also listened to Chris Ballard talk about it as well, and, he's kind of can't really say anything about Watson, but it's not really available yet, so I'll be fair to him. But Bears fans believe there are better options out there, like Derek Carr, if you want to try to get from Raiders. I feel like that would take a lot, too. I mean, you would have to – it shouldn't take as much to get Carson Wentz out of Philly as they pretty much are telling you, like, yeah, hey, Jalen Hurts is our number one quarterback. And everybody thinks Jalen Hurts is number one next year, right? He's the number one quarterback. It shouldn't be as hard to get Carson Wentz out of Philly. It's got to be more difficult to get Derek Carr out of the Raiders, I would think. Or to get maybe – I mean, look, now Jimmy Garoppolo is an interesting one because I don't know how San Francisco feels, but maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. They say Matt Ryan as well. I could see Matt Ryan being traded because the Falcons can easily just take a quarterback at number 4. Easily they could do that. So maybe Matt Ryan's a better option. Sam Darnold's one. I don't know. There's also free agency. Making me laugh. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys. I want to know what y'all think. But if there's any Bears fans, how would you feel about trading for Wentz? And what would you be willing to give up? Because I'm seeing 2 first-round picks. Maybe it's just circumstance, But you look at the Bears, they're not in a better situation, really. I mean, they got a play caller that's given up play calling 3 times. You have basically no weapons. You have Allen Robinson hitting free agency. It's like, okay, would this really be the best spot for him? And then you're joining Nick Foles again? I don't know about all that. I don't know, unless you trade Nick Foles back to Philly, which I don't think would happen. A Lions fan, hey, if they do it, they do it, right? They take out a big contract, they give us the picks. I'm cool with that. You can give up some stuff for it. But Carson Wentz, to me, is an upgrade from Trubisky. I mean, I'll say that. I think he's definitely an upgrade from Trubisky. He's a great quarterback. Not really. Last season could have been just an outlier. Could have just been a really bad year for him. I can't help but bring it up, though, because it's making me laugh so much. So what do you guys think? How would you feel about a Carson Wentz to the Bears trade, especially if they gave up 2 first-round picks? I mean, see, this is why Lions trade was so great, because we didn't give up 2 first-round picks for Goff. That would have been a similar thing. If we would have gave up 2 first-round picks for Goff, people would have been like, are you crazy? The difference is we got 2 first-round picks and Goff. They'd be giving up 2 first-round picks for Goff. Now, we also did lose Stafford, but we already know he's going to be traded because he requested to trade. So that's the difference in this one, okay? I know that's the big difference. I'm not saying, Goff is way better than Carson Wentz or something. We got Goff. Now, I know we have the big contract, but we're not locked into the contract. We could get out of it after a couple of years, and we got draft picks to go trade and move around for a quarterback if we wanted to. So, I don't know. I think if the Bears did this, they're definitely if they gave up 2 first-round picks for Goff, hey, I guess credit to them for being aggressive, but it would probably have to work. I mean, but then again, man, how great do you have to be? Because Trubisky did have you in the playoffs. Then the benefit of Trubisky is you got more money and you don't have to give up draft picks. So you can use that to build around, the quarterback. But with Wentz has to be an upgrade because you're paying him more money, so you can't get as many assets and you have less draft picks. So you're hoping that Wentz is better than Mr. Trubisky. And if he's not, that's tough. That is tough. If he has another year like last year, oof. I'll leave you on that. What do y'all think? Let me know. Thank you, Prime, for watching, and I'm out.